Sometimes we hear that, those times away can actually be a good thing because you're not stuck in a training camp or what have you. So last year not getting to compete, good thing or bad thing?
Sometimes you can look at it in a negative, but there's a lot of things that I corrected and had to change in my life and career. First and foremost, moved out here to Las Vegas. So I'm been here for a year, and it was a huge adjustment period when I first moved out here. Coaches and teammates, and finding that, for me, I do well with structure and routine. So I was out of that for a bit. So I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why those fights didn't prosper, and just very excited for the camp that I had and to be here for Fight Week, to be speaking in front of you guys, and just to be honest with you, I'm very excited to go make weights Friday and showcase my skills on Saturday.
Nice. As you say, you come back on a huge card, T-Mobile Arena, right, ESPN. I mean, at this point in your career, the competition is what matters, getting in there, right? But does that extra stuff, add to it at this point in your career?
There was a time in my career that I could care less about any of that, and, those feelings are back, so it's excitement. I thought I dealt a lot with that being anxiety, the feeling of excitement. But it's just excitement. I've learned to cope with those feelings of, thinking it's anxiety. It's actually excitement. So I'm just excited, go back to, the beginning of it all. It's been an amazing journey. I was able to debut on Jon Jones' card against DC and, look at the trajectory of our careers, where it's at, became a world champion. He's here now going to, get another notch in his belt at heavyweight. So it's great, man. It's just I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful for the camp that I had, the teammates, the coaches. It's been a long 16 months, but a lot of good has came from the change. I miss my guys at Team Alpha Male. Those are my brothers. It was super hard to leave family like that, but I have a son, and he comes first. So, and I'll always be.
Nice. Dealing with a late replacement opponent, I guess, given how long you've been away, did it matter to you at all? Did you care? Did you discuss it? Or were you just whatever?
I realized that the UFC released that he was stepping in on short notice. We took the fight 5 weeks ago, so it's not a short notice fight for me is a couple of days, 2 weeks tops. So if you can't get ready for a fight and you're in the UFC roster in 5 weeks, you don't need to be on the roster. So, I'm excited for this opponent because I was training for a southpaw, and I didn't think they'd find me a southpaw opponent. That's why I chose Trevin. I was training for a southpaw the whole time, so not switch it up. I had a few other names in the hats. A couple guys called me out. Respect to them. Trying to get their jump to it. I'm just focused and motivated on what I have to do. And like I said, I had a great training camp. I brought in Dewey Cooper. Phenomenal coach, just mentor. His energy is second to none. And Chase Pammy, world-class wrestler, wrestled at the highest level on the U.S. team all over the world. And we've just been grinding, I might have been out for, 16 months, but really the last 8 months has been nonstop, just work and training and developing the skills with the new coaches and teammates. And, I worked a lot with Micah. He's the therapist at the UFC PI. And, it's been great. I think that speaking about, going and having a therapist or a sports therapist, I've always come to fight mentally, physically, physically always, but working on the mental side, and just getting back to it. So I'm just excited, man. I just have these feelings. It's been so long that I've been in this position where I'd speak in front of you and it'd be kind of just going through the motions. But, I'm honestly sitting here saying this is the best I've felt in years. My life is great. I'm excited. I'm just excited to go out there and showcase the skills on Saturday. And, I'm a former world champion. So I have that going on, and I'm looking to rebound from the skid that I've been on. I understand that, there's ups and downs in life, but just keeping the balance, and that's what I've been doing over the last, year or over. I just need some momentum, take momentum in this life and this career. You saw what momentum did in 2016, went from unranked to world champion. And that's all it takes is one fight at a time, and, it's a snowball effect, and I'll make it back to the top.
Nice. Last thing for me, I guess given that, right, like it sounds like you're in a really good place mentally and physically, and like you've been a world champion before. I mean, I know every fighter wants to win every fight, but like, is there any added importance on the result of this fight, or is it more about just going in there and, you know, knowing that you were at 100%, knowing that you did your best?
Yeah, you said it correctly. It's what happens on Saturday night. It's already, you know, it's out there. You know, it's already going to happen. The work's done. It's what is going to happen is going to happen. I truly believe, I'm very confident wherever this fight takes place, you know, inside that 15 minutes, I'll get the job done. But I know, you know, in the preparation leading up to this fight, I did everything that I needed to do and then some. You know, I worked on things I never worked on in my entire life. And I just feel good as a human, as an athlete, as a fighter, to go and showcase, you know, heart, courage, determination, and the persistence of just going out there and getting this win.
Cody, over here. You obviously said like you weren't able to compete last year, but you did have fights booked. It was a lot of like start and stop. And in the past, we've heard fighters that after a while, it just feels like one long fight camp, and they can just get burnt out after a while. Did you feel any of that with all the starting and stopping of these fight camps?
You know, that's a great question. I feel like a lot of fighters, you know, it would break in this, having to go through. I went through 3 fight camps that didn't happen, you know, and a lot of them were literally 2 weeks before the fight, so really on the turn down of the camp. So I put all the hard work in, and it didn't come to fruition. You didn't get paid. You didn't, you know. I ended up having some procedures. I had no surgery, you know. So, but for me, it was the you know, even in those dark times like that, I can't wait to get back in there. I know that's how my love and passion is through the roof for this sport, you know. And so many times in the past, I've not had that. You've been numb walking to the arena. You have 20,000 fans going crazy to fight, and you just have no feeling of numbness. But you know, now I have the feeling of excitement, and I'm just excited to be in there, get in there and fight. I've worked so hard. I've honed my skills, you know, mentally and physically. So I'm just excited to go in there. You know, 3 fight camps. I'm finally get to go in there and showcase all the hard work me and my coaches and everyone that's helped me, you know, through the transition period of my life has done.
And the last time we saw you compete was obviously at flyweight, and I know even leading up to that, you said, you know, I feel good, like the weight cut is easy and stuff. But now, more than a year later, how difficult was that weight cut?
Let me be honest with you, with that fight, I felt good in the sense of the weight cut went good. You know what I mean? But outside of that, my life was in shambles. You know what I mean? I wasn't good. I wasn't in a good place. I wasn't happy. You know, I went through the motions. You know, camp was good. I had a bunch of injuries going into the fight. These all sound like excuses, but I sat there and say, oh, I feel great. I feel great. When I tell you this, I feel great. I feel awesome. I had a great camp. I truly did this fight, and I'm just excited to go out there and perform. You know, I'm a performer. I'm an entertainer. I'm a performer, and I'm just excited to be back to this position, this energy, this love. I guess you can call it passion for this sport. I mean, it's not fun. I don't think fighting is fun at all. But I enjoy it, you know. I think I really enjoy it. You know, fun comes and goes. You know, just like motivation comes and goes. You have to be driven. So I just been enjoying the journey, the ups and downs. You know, it's you know, through the dark times you have to have the light. You know, and the light is, you know, I know that I can turn this around with one fight. You know, momentum, and that's what, you know, the word of the week is momentum. Just have the momentum from the beginning of this week. You know, good weight cut, and just, you know, step inside the octagon and just perform.
So is flyweight done for you then, even though you said it wasn't that difficult of a weight cut?
The weight cut was amazing. Dr. Capo is one of the best in the world. I mean, I never made 125 since I was 15 years old. So we worked super hard at it. You know, I felt like I let him down in the performance. You know what I mean? But my mind wasn't there. I was walking to the octagon just numb, not like, fuck, I gotta go fight now. Like, man, not because the weight cut. The weight cut felt good. I could do the weight cut 10 times over. I felt good at 25. I just telling you, my life was not where it needed to be at. You know what I mean? So, you know, I was in limbo stage with a lot of it. You know, and moving out here, and you know, just changing things that I needed to change. You know, we have a career. You know. Ended up getting divorced, you know, before my fight, selling the house the week of my fight. I have a son that's, you know, was 4 years old at the time. You know, I come from a split family. I didn't want that, but, you know, we had to put our career on, you know, for life. You know, I had to do some life changes. You know, thankfully, me and my ex-wife are, you know, great co-parents. doing amazing. You know, Kai is just so blessed. He turns 5 next week. I'm so thankful for him and what he's brought into my life. And, you know, sometimes you just go separate ways. But I had a lot going on in my personal life. I think a lot of people don't understand, or, you know, that we're still humans at the end of the day. We still battle with things that regular humans do. We just have skills that put us at I guess some people put us on a pedestal, but at the same day, we tie our shoes the same way and deal with the same personal stress and things that go on in life. It was finally to be able to handle that and move forward. And, you know, she's happy and I'm happy and our kids flourishing. And, you know, I feel like, you know, my life is, you know, set on what I needed to do. And that's focus on my career, focus on being a father and being present for my son and providing for him.
And last one for me, I'd be remiss, I have to ask, what did you make of T.J. Dillashaw retiring after his last fight?
Oh, I think he did the Conor McGregor USADA retirement, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I mean, I get this question a lot about TJ, this and that, but, I mean, it is what it is. I think karma gets us all, you know what I mean? If you're a bad person, karma's going to find you. And that's all I really have to say about that. I think you look like shit his last fight, you know, truthfully, but when you abuse your body like that and take all those stuff and you get off of it, you know, there's consequences, and I think you saw that. So, yeah, hopefully, you know, whatever he does, if he stay retired, hope he's found peace and happiness, and good for him, you know. I'm excited for what I do on Saturday night, and, you know, the comeback.
Cody over here. Speaking of retirements, Jose Aldo also retired. Any, you know, disappointment that you're never going to get to fight him?
You know, that was always a fight. You know, Jose is just a great competitor. Just amazing fighter. That would have been great. You know, he's a phenomenal fighter. But he's doing well in boxing. He's getting ready to fight Jeremy Stevens in May. So that's exciting. You know,
He might fight Mayweather.
Mayweather. Okay, cool, awesome. That's great. You know, I think that's a good fight for Mayweather. Jose Aldo has great boxing. You know, he's phenomenal. So, yeah, you know, you come to a point in your time that this MMA is rough on your body, you know. So for them just to focus on one martial arts and boxing, it's not saying it's a lot easier, but it's not a lot as demanding on your body. You have to wrestle, you have to jiu-jitsu, you have to kickbox, you have to spar. You know, boxing, you run, you spar, you hit pads. You know, I'm not saying it's not hard. It is. It's a martial arts, but martial arts is the hardest sport to do and stay healthy.
Obviously, the focus is on Saturday, but past Saturday, is there any interest in rematching Dominic Cruz at some point?
I like Dominic. You know, I like Dominic. But, yeah, I mean, this fight on Saturday obviously is my focus. You know, I fought Dom at his, you know, peak, and we had, you know, I was 25 years old. You know what I mean? I was 25 years old and had a great performance against him. And, you know, we'll see what the matchmakers want to do. I have personally no beef against Dom, but yeah, Saturday is my focus on the guy that I'm fighting. We'll kind of just go from there.
And last one for me, you mentioned Team Alpha Male. How cool was it seeing Mike Malott get another win last week? He's been killing it in the welterweight division.
You know, I'm super happy for Mike. Baxter on Mike. We both came out to Alpha Male at the same time, and he was fighting 145. I remember sparring this dude. I'm like, this guy's massive. He's strong. He's big. He's skilled. And we got his name because he was proper the way he spoke, and you know, he was coming from Canada, so we gave him proper Mike Malott. Just a great guy. I mean, honestly, such a good human. I'm so happy for his success, and I just knew that, you know, he took some time off. You know, he took like 4 years off. He actually helped me out. He cornered me. He coached me for a few of my UFC fights, and you know, actually it was one of the fights, I think the Kai fight, maybe before, that he decided that he was coming back to fighting. I was like, hey, man, I can't take, you know, that from you. This is your years. Go get it, you know. So, you know, I found a new coach, but, you know, I'm thankful for the time that he gave me, you know, the skills. And we had a great time. You know, we had a good fight with Rafael Sunsao. He trained me basically the whole time for that. But like I said, I'm just super excited for him. He had a great performance. I just spoke to him last week. I mean, that was a flawless performance. And that kid is good everywhere. He can wrestle, he can grapple, he can strike. And he's just, I think that he's going to be a very dangerous person in that welterweight division.
Hey, Cody. I just wanted to know what went into the mindset of moving to Vegas. You know, you've cross-trained at a bunch of really big gyms, really popular gyms. what went into the decision to move to Vegas and kind of go with Dewey and go with Extreme Couture? What was the mindset?
Why did I leave Sacramento?
Yeah, just like why choose Vegas?
Well, so my ex-wife is from Vegas, so we agreed to move here, split custody of our son. You know, there's nothing for her in Sacramento. Our family, friends are here, and you know I can't be selfish to keep her there, and I damn sure couldn't be far from my son. So, you know, it made it work, you know, but it was tough. It was a tough transition for me, but I'm grateful for Dewey Cooper, Chase Pamming, Eric, Giff, all these guys helped me out in the beginning to help out. But I'm a creature of habit, you know. I do really well in structure and routine. So, like I said, there's a reason why probably 16 months was out and those fights didn't happen. But I truly believe I have the best camp that I had in my entire career. I truly believe I'm the most well-rounded martial artist that will grace this octagon on Saturday.
And you talked about, fighters being human. How do you drown out all of the doubt and the fans and analysts saying that, like, you're done, you don't have a chin anymore, how do you drown that out?
Yeah, for me, honestly, it's always been like that. I've had doubt my whole entire life, you know what I mean? Since I was born into nothing, dirt. My mom was a single parent, raised us, so we weren't supposed to make it this far, so I just keep proving everyone wrong and just, staying humble, doing what I need to do is just go in there and train every day and get better and understand that, that it happens. It's a fight, there's a game of inches. Sometimes you might get caught and luckily I had, I was 11-0 world champion, 25 years old. I truly believe that I still have a lot of fight left in me. As long as the passion and the hunger is there, I don't see any sky as the limit.
Thanks, man.
Over here, Cody. You made a comment. Obviously, been in Vegas for a year now. Hopefully, that's going better for you. I'm kind of curious if you have any favorite spots in town to eat, gamble, anything like that.
Yeah, actually, I don't gamble. Never was lucky with that. Even playing like Texas Hold'em when I was younger, I always turned in like fist fights with the friends. So yeah, I don't gamble, thank God. I got a few good spots. There's a nice coffee shop, mom and pop shop. Lovely couple owns it. It's on Seven Hills. It's called True Brew. It's an organic coffee place. They make like homemade pastries. I haven't been there in a while. Sorry, guys. I was a regular, but obviously, you got to sacrifice a little bit. I like the Yellowtail at Bellagio. That's a good sushi spot. And then Carver at the Resort World. I go there a lot. I take my mom and family and friends when they come out when I can eat. So there's a plus to Vegas for sure. There's a lot of good food restaurants. I wasn't a big fan of the Vegas move, but I don't drink. I've been sober for almost a year now, so it's I don't go out clubbing, do nothing like that. So I just I think you can get into those bad habits moving out here, but luckily I didn't have any bad habits when I moved here, so I don't start any now.
Awesome. And you made the comment earlier. Your debut was on a John Jones card, and here you are, fighting again on a John Jones card. Kind of curious just your opinion on the Jones Cyril Gane fight.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this fight. I think John Jones is one of the greatest martial arts of all time. Just no matter the layoff he has, no matter what he's going through in life, he always finds a way to be John Jones. And Cyril Gane is a phenomenal fighter. I really liked his style and the way he fights. I'm excited for this. I think that even with the layoff, I think John Jones wins this fight pretty handily. I think that John Jones is a different breed, and he shows up when he needs to, and I'm excited for him to put another notch in his belt and go up and get a heavyweight title and really solidify himself as the best martial artist of all time.
One quick one for me, Cody, and I'll piggyback off of Alex. Team Alpha Male, family, of course, and for your career, maybe things happen for a reason. One of the greatest minds with Dewey Cooper, knowing the fight game, training, how easy was it to click with Dewey, and how seamless was that transition?
Yeah, that's a good statement. Easy transition. A lot of the coaches that you train with, or striking coach, I should say, try to reinvent the wheel. I'm a Ferrari. I don't need to put new wheels or anything in it. I just need to be polished up, and that's what Dewey did. Polished me up and turned me into a striking machine. I feel like all my tools, all my limbs are deadly, and the mindset that he brings into it. Because Dewey was a fighter himself, a world champion. kickboxer. He boxed. He did MMA. So he's been, he has his battle scars of it. He's been in the trenches, and the mentality and just the encouraging words he brings inside camp. Some days you're not the best days. Some days you don't feel good, but it's no matter how you feel, it's what you do. I think that's one of the best sayings that I've taken from Dewey. It's not a matter how you feel, it's what you do. There's some days you wake up on fight day and you feel like shit, but you still got to go fight.
Thank you, sir. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you. One quick thing, I want to give a shout out to my Claymont, my high school. The kids wrestle tomorrow at districts, so I just want to give a big shout out to Ryan Jackson, 120, Elijah Parrish, Nolan McMorrow, Thane Mahaffey, Kendrick Reneker, Wyatt Shaw are all going to compete tomorrow at districts in Ohio, and alternates are Tritton Cole, Nate Burton, and Kicktris Anthony. Go get them, guys.